Kayfabe Avenue. Ladies and gentlemen, heels and faces, casual wrestling fans, and all you smart marks. I'm AJ, and this is the Kayfabe Ave podcast, and I'm here today to talk about the Elimination Chamber. Yes, everyone was talking about it in the wrestling community. It just happened this past Saturday, and a lot of news coming out of it. Some people, dare to say that it's possibly the greatest WWE event of the year. Um, let's get right into it, I guess. This is obviously on the road to WrestleMania. This is the last event on the road to WrestleMania, actually, and it was not a long card at all. 4 matches, holding up this pay per view. In a lot of cases, when WWE does the small uh, pay per view events, I tend to find myself realizing, like, they're utilizing the time a lot more. They're giving a good, um, you know, room for all these matches to breathe, which is definitely um, a good change of pace. It's a positive thing, but sometimes it could be a detriment too. We feel like, maybe we could have had an extra match here, or had someone who's not usually on the card actually on the card this time. But another one of those 4 match pay per views. I think in pay per view like Elimination Chamber, I think it makes the most sense. Or like the Royal Rumble that just passed, it makes sense. You have 2 gimmick matches that are about an hour long each, so that'll be the bulk of the event. So why stuff um, so many different matches into this gimmick event? I think these events are the ones that kind of benefit the most from this format. I think every other event that is not a gimmick event, like a Chamber, Rumble, Money in the Bank, those things that have a men's and a women's focus match, I think they benefit from this. And the other normal events should still run the normal 8 matches, 6 to 8 matches. I think that's a better fit, but I don't hear anyone complaining about it this month. Um, they're, like I said, saying this is probably the greatest event. So let's start off with the match that started everything, the women's chamber match. And we had Roxanne Perez, Bailey, we had Naomi, we had Alexa Bliss returning, her second event since the Royal Rumble where she made her return. Um, I don't know. I'll get more into that, but I think we need more from Alexa Bliss, even though she just got back. Of course, Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair in this match as well to fill out the chamber. So let's talk about the big news coming out of this match. And no, we're not talking about who actually won it. We're talking about Jade Cargill doing what she was supposed to do. What I think a lot of the fans were waiting for a long time to see was her march in there and beat the person's ass who took her out what feels like forever ago, maybe 3 months now. Um, we finally got to see who either she assumed took her out or who was the actual culprit. She goes in, you see Liv Morgan talking about it wasn't me. Jade Cargill fakes like she's about to attack Liv Morgan. Nope. Side steps, goes straight to Naomi and whoops the glow sticks out her ass. Whooped her like I don't think I've ever seen anybody whoop Naomi before. And for somebody who, like myself, has been annoyed with this glow gimmick for a long time, hoping to see something new, I was enjoying every moment. Let's take a moment to shout out Jade Cargill, looking beyond amazing, looking ready to destroy everything, and anyone in this ring. Um, it was kind of jarring to me, her being a tag team champion, kind of getting taken away from storyline. I thought it was going to resolve a lot sooner. Maybe they wanted, to prep her for this match, which obviously seems like it's going to happen at WrestleMania. And maybe she needed more time to get into that kind of shape, but it was kind of jarring. I don't know if she was really injured or this was a kayfabe way to, get her a little more prepared, taking her off TV so she could do that while maintaining interest in her. If that was the plan, they did a great job. I have no complaints on that regard because people have been heavily invested in the story. And a lot of complaints were like, did you guys just up and forget that she got injured? Who the hell was the attacker? They did the kind of lame show the footage and kind of allude to Liv Morgan and um, Raquel Rodriguez, but didn't show anything. All they did was walk by on the footage. So here I was hoping that they'll do a Triple H like review of the footage, kind of like his rivalry against Shawn Michaels, where um, HBK shows up on the Titantron and he's talking about the possibilities of people who did it, and then reviews the footage. It's all blurry. It zooms in. He gets his digital editors or whatever was the term back in those days when they didn't realize technology was accessible or it wasn't as accessible uh, to do those things. But he digitally cleared up the image, and it's Triple H. Triple H like, God damn it, you damn right I did. So I was hoping it was kind of a reveal like that, but this alternative was definitely um, appreciated. Went in straight to whooping her ass, throwing her all around the cage. The match didn't even start yet. All the contenders were in the chambers and everyone was there, but she held up the cage, went in, pillar to post, slams, the front kick that she does, chef's kiss. I thought she was gonna go through the chamber with that. Shout out to Bianca who was selling the hell out of Naomi getting beaten up, and she was being very dramatic and reacting to the ass whooping. Even though you don't fool me, you do not fool me. I feel like Naomi was probably actually the innocent in the situation, and Bianca is behind everything. You're not fooling me. There's another page to turn on this and another chapter, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be revealed down the line. Um, I wouldn't even be mad. We still have 2 months until WrestleMania, 60 days, so I wouldn't even be mad if they revealed that it was Bianca going in. We obviously need a heel going into Bianca versus Rhea Ripley, and no one's booing Mommy. And at the current gimmick that Bianca's been, there's no reason to boo her unless she was behind the attack, unless she was the one. Now, if she was behind the attack, I'm hoping that Naomi didn't even know. And you just got your ass whooped because of your homegirl. You did benefit from this injury or this attack. You was the women's tag team champion. You literally just absorbed the title. With the premise they call the set that you have to defend it constantly, which kudos, they did have a really good run. I was enjoying the run before Jade Cargill got taken out of the picture, and after. Obviously, they turned it up a little bit more, were more consistent. The matching gears, um, Bianca and Naomi gel a little bit better together, I think, than her and Jade Cargill did. But Jade Cargill is rather new, especially in WWE. So I wouldn't, I understand why they probably didn't gel as well as Naomi and um, Bianca did. But the reasoning is clear. If it's Bianca, you were taking the spotlight. You were, I was casting your shadow, and nobody does that to Bianca Belair. So, she immediately destroyed Naomi. Naomi had no offense in this. She had no comeback. I don't even think she threw a punch back. She barely was able to even defend herself at that point. But she ends the ass whooping with Naomi hanging halfway in and out the cage, slams the cage door. It's one of those you pull and it slides, not open and shut like that. So it's just one of those slide things. She slid it right on her head. Sold the hell out of it. It was pretty good. Um, Definitely a firecracker way to start the pay per view that literally cemented in my mind before the match even gets to start. But nonetheless, that's how it started. But Naomi ends up getting eliminated because she was unable to compete for this. So that was already one down. Um, the match itself, really good. Everybody got their shine in here. I think we can probably say that ahead of time for both chambers. Um, a lot of people got their good spots. Um, but the order of elimination, I could say, so with Naomi being the first eliminated, she was also the first entered. Second being Liv Morgan, obviously feeding the "it wasn't me" response to Jay Cargill while she was coming in there storming in. Third person in was Bianca Belair, so she started the match shortly after Naomi got taken out. She was still playing the "no, my friend," and got distracted trying to see if Naomi on the outside of the cage was okay. Liv Morgan taking advantage, start smashing her against the cage, and just start putting in that work. Liv Morgan, I gotta tip my hat to Liv Morgan. This has been her year. Originally, when she was the one to beat Becky for the championship, I didn't have as much faith as then in her as I do now. Consistent matches, consistent great wins, putting it all out there. The last like 3-4 matches in a row, she came back with battle wounds and battle scars. So Liv Morgan's definitely leaving it all out there. Definitely appreciate Liv Morgan. I want to see more of that. So yeah, Bianca entered at number 3. We have Roxanne at number 4 and Bailey at number 5. Alexa Bliss, the last one in, and back on Alexa Bliss. I think she's kind of in limbo. You bring her back in from the Royal Rumble, but then you don't immediately give her a storyline. She's thrust into the uh, qualifying matches, and she's set into this elimination chamber where, in reality, she didn't have any beef going in. She had no rivalries coming out of it. Um, we had Bailey and Roxanne. They had their rivalry stemming from Bailey's appearance on NXT. Roxanne Perez has been kind of on fire recently, doing double duty on the main program. Ever since the Royal Rumble, when she had a good showing. So we had Bailey and Roxanne. Obviously, Liv Morgan, the whole Naomi and Bianca Belair situation. Excuse me, which I do appreciate how they did it, because I was like, damn, a tag team in the chamber. Like, what are they gonna team up until the last two? I was kind of skeptical on the fact that why would they give them both a spot. I thought maybe, I did have the Jay Cargill thing in the back of my mind, and um, expecting her to come back at any point. Them dropping the titles to Liv and Raquel Rodriguez made perfect sense to me because of the storylines coming out. I didn't expect for the winner to be Bianca Belair leaving this chamber match. I really thought that somehow Jade would interference would cost both of them their opportunity, or the rivalry would show that, hey, it was me all along. Bianca, I don't care how much I saw Naomi get her ass whooped. I still think, and I still maintain, that it's Bianca Belair. I need to see where they're gonna take this on SmackDown this upcoming Friday. But yeah, nothing's convincing me that it wasn't Bianca Belair. So my mind in this match was thinking Bianca was gonna reveal herself as the villain in the chamber and start whooping Naomi's ass. But the alternative was definitely way better. Um, Alexa Bliss needs more to do. Liv Morgan was definitely the shining star of this entire chamber match. There from the beginning, there to the end. Um, Bianca eliminated her with her finish. Bianca ended up having a total time of 29 minutes and 15 seconds. Liv Morgan, 25. 35. Roxanne Perez 23. Um, and 5 seconds, and we have Bailey with 19 minutes in there. So, which is kind of weird that they have it like that. Bianca Belair having more time into the match, considering that Liv Morgan's, well, you're right. Well, she got her ass whooped. she Naomi got her ass whooped, so Liv Morgan was kind of just a fly on the cage, if you will. She definitely was just paying attention to what was going on there. What a way to start the chamber. Arguably, I give the women a 2 for 2 so far in events. I think the women's rumble was probably more entertaining, and I think that the women's elimination chamber was a little bit more entertaining, considering the way that it started, especially with that big feud that we were expecting. So Bianca ends up with the win. She's going to WrestleMania to face the winner of Rhea Ripley or Io Sky, which is happening tonight on Monday Night Raw. So we'll get the results of that later tonight. But yeah, I have no doubt in my mind that Rhea Ripley's going to run through Io. Shouts out to Io. Tip my hat off to her too. She's definitely been put in situations where she's had to, she was the champion, so she had her little run, but she's still been trying to keep afloat on the card and also elevating other people in the matches she's been having. So Io's in that spot where she probably needs to return to a contendership, but maybe not the world championship. I could definitely see her helping elevate the Intercontinental Championship for the women. So shouts out, but I really think Rhea's going to take it tonight, and it's going to be Rhea versus Bianca. Um, I can't wait to see the twists and turns because Bianca, you guilty. Either you and Naomi or you by yourself try to attempt to murder that woman. But anyways, that was the women's chamber. Next up was Tiffy time. We had Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton versus Candice LeRae and Nia Jax. And honestly, it was okay. I get why this match took place. You want to give Tiffany something to do. You want to give Nia Jax something to do. Hats off to Nia Jax as well, having a great year. I think this was the year she probably proved herself as a superstar. I don't think anybody could deny her this time around, especially with the run she's had coming off Queen of the Ring. Um, she, you know, she's had it rough for a lot of years. People saying she's the injurer. Me myself, I'm guilty of it too. But I also gonna give credit where credit's due. Nia has definitely improved, and I've been enjoying her a lot this year. But this match to me was kind of unnecessary. You want to give Tiffany Stratton something to do while she's waiting to get to WrestleMania to defend against Charlotte, but you don't want to obviously have her defend the title. Um, in case you lose that Stratton Charlotte, which was never gonna happen. So you already knew going in she wasn't gonna lose that match. So you give her a match like this. So even if by chance that she lost, but she did, um, that she wouldn't lose the title, and that Charlotte storyline still remains the focus. But for all that, I don't know. I would have rather something like Nia wants to stake her claim to WrestleMania. She challenges Charlotte or something. Hey, put your spot up, and we'll have that fluff match. Because just making this a tag team match, I get it. You're closing the loop on the story with Candice LeRae, Nia Jax, and Tiffy all being on the same team. You're closing that loop. I get it. But you put your Stratus there as a Toronto native, and she wasn't even getting cheered in her own home country. It was pointless, and I love to see Trish. I you know at her age she still can go. She's one of the real revolutionary stars then. But this was like I don't think anybody was interested in this match. I don't think they utilized Trish's legendary status in the right spot. It was cool. The Tiffy and Trishy time little gimmick for the week or two that it was up, but yeah, there was no heart into it. It was, I feel like Tiffy's got stagnant a little bit because she won it in a situation where she's not immediately defending. So now you go 2.5 months now, up to Mania without defending the title. I feel like that was probably a one of the bad decisions. I don't think a lot of people talking about it, but because everybody gets blinded by the guest appearance of Trish Stratus, and like I said, I'm not complaining that it happened. I love to see Trish, but this was definitely one of those filler matches that could have went to somebody else. Why couldn't we see Braun Breaker defend if Tiffany wasn't? I'd rather a segment with Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte to continue the story going into WrestleMania than this match. Trish could have done anything. She could have been the guest enforcer for the next match, KO versus Sami Zayn. She could have been the host of the event and introduced us and flowed through the matches. Maybe interview stars in between match endings and match beginnings. They could have utilized her in a better way. Maybe not necessarily in wrestling, but I feel like the Toronto crowd was dead on their hometown hero, which was kind of crazy. But that leads us to Owens and Sammy, which was a great match, unsanctioned. They even tried to get the aesthetic of the arena to show that this was not a regular match. It was not something they were regulating. So they had the dim lights, which worked for the atmosphere that it did. But me personally, I love Sami Zayn, love Kevin Owens. Every time they're in the ring together, it's magic. But how many times have we seen this at this point? And that's kind of where I'm at. I don't hate the match. I didn't necessarily love it too much. Did it do what it needed to do? Yes, it did. Was it something that I felt like should have went this way? I don't know. Storyline wise, it makes perfect sense. KO is this heel that you could arguably say he's wrong, but in a lot of, and this is what I love about Triple H's um, era, is that even the heels have justifications, and if you really think about them, they're real justifications, not excuses made to have the heel have a purpose. No, these are legitimate reasons, legitimate experiences they went through that caused them to turn on the crowd, to turn on the current um, big superstar that the fans are behind. KO has been right in every aspect of what he's done. Now, the violence, the amount of violence that KO has been portraying, that's where the heel comes from, but he's not wrong. You took out Sami Zayn. Why? Because as soon as you were clear of the bloodline and everything seemed like y'all was moving on, you ran back to the tribal chief. So what was your last year about? What was the main eventing WrestleMania 39 as challengers to the Undisputed Tag Team Championships? What was that about? What was the next whole year leading up to WrestleMania 40 and everyone sacrificing themselves to get the title away from Roman Reigns? He's justified in that. And you could argue the justifications for Sami Zayn helping the tribal chief. So that's one of those things that's what makes this kind of a classic bout. Um, but me personally, I've seen them go at it so many times. It's like, what can you possibly do at this point to make it um, new and fresh in the ring? Um, it was a good match. Obviously, they're never gonna have a terrible match, but I feel like this was just getting Kevin Owens to the next spot, which would be him versus the returning Randy Orton, which he showed up in this match at the end, getting his revenge on KO for taking him out with the pile driver. Ever since then, KO's been taking people out or trying to take people out with the package pile driver. So, um, perfect timing, obviously. Now we get Orton versus KO at Mania. So story wise, they're firing on all cylinders. Like I see really no flaws in storytelling as far as the matches that they've given us for this. So speaking about the storylines and the matches they're giving us, the men's elimination chamber, we have Damian Priest, Logan Paul, we have Seth Rollins, we have Drew McIntyre, we have CM Punk, and on his retirement tour, John Cena. So, like I said, a lot of storylines going in. In here we have Damian Priest getting the upper hand on Drew McIntyre the past couple of weeks, which now seems to be leading to them at WrestleMania. We have Logan Paul, who eliminated CM Punk, and his beef with CM Punk stemming from the Rumble. Obviously, Seth having his beef with Drew, having his beef with CM Punk having his beef with Seth. That triple threat of drama was like the big cusp of this match. And then, the looming return and eventual retirement of John Cena. Cena's last Elimination Chamber, last everything going forward. Um, did I expect him to win this match? No, I didn't. I thought Cena was going to end up continuing his losing streak. And so I had two alternatives coming out this match. I saw CM Punk coming out as the winner, and if he won, I saw Cody saying no to the proposal, and then The Rock try to recruit CM Punk. CM Punk says no, gets the favor to get Rock off his ass, causing the favor to Roman so we can have a possible Roman versus Rock. That was one of my angles. One of the other angles I had coming out of here that I was thinking of as a possibility was maybe CM Punk loses. He decides, hey, Cody doesn't want to sell his soul. I'll sell my soul. I need that WrestleMania main event. I've been saying I'm gonna make it to WrestleMania. This is my year. I'm gonna sell my soul to The Rock, whatever the case may be. No favor. Still favor for the Tribal Chief or Paul Heyman lingering. Um, now I'm really curious what the hell that favor is gonna be. Um, I didn't see Seth winning this. I kind of don't see him in that championship spot. Like we don't need Seth in that picture. I feel like there's too many people who should be champion before Seth gets to touch it again. Especially considering he was the first world champion, um, and that lineage is still getting built up. So if you're gonna win a title, go back and win the second one of those. But the WWE title at this point needs to go from juggernaut to juggernaut. We need it to go from the hands of icons. Can't go from Roman Reigns, Tribal Chief, 4 years, the dominant run he's had. Give it to Cody, and then Cody drops it to Seth. Like Seth will have to propel in storyline, and I feel like he's just been good enough in story where his character is just relevant enough to get by month to month. But I don't see any real greatness coming out of his character and his um, per se. His story with between him, Drew, and Punk, that's definitely been great. That's definitely carried Raw, and it's definitely been a highlight. But I don't see Seth as an evolving character, and I don't have any reason that's like Seth makes me want to get behind him. I need to see him get this victory. I need to see him win. There's no motivation for me as a fan. I like Seth, but there's no motivation for me to say I want to see this guy in this spot again at this moment. Um, Logan Paul, love Logan Paul, but I definitely don't see him in a World Championship, WWE Championship capacity at all. Not for another year, maybe another 2 years even. It's too many people. Same thing with Seth Rollins. There's too many other people that probably should be in line for this, especially that championship before you get to touch it. And while Logan is an amazing guy. I'm one of those guys that hated him. Well, not hated him, but I didn't really care for the guy at all during his YouTube career, even his little boxing stint. Could care less. But once he got into wrestling, he showed the love for it. He showed the determination to learn. He's risking his rich ass body that he doesn't have to do that. He's risking his celebrity. He doesn't have to do this profession at all. So the fact that he's full time, the fact that he's as good at it as he is, the fact that he's already given us some classic moments, I respect it. But pay your dues, brother. Definitely pay your dues. There's a long line of people who have been here 10 plus, 15 years plus, and not to say that they're as entertaining, as engaging, or anything over him, but we still need to see some dues paid. I want to see some losses. I want to see some triumphs. I want to see his character um, develop past, hey, I'm fucking Logan Paul, drink my prime drink, I'm an arrogant douche, I'm going to do stupid shit like slap CM Punk and run. I think he needs to evolve beyond that and kind of let's see you hold the secondary championship in a meaningful way. Not I have it for these couple of months, but I only defended it twice. I had it for these couple of months, but I have other endeavors that kept me away. He's full time now, so now's the time to maybe get back into the United States championship picture. I get why they put him in the spot. Views, views, views. You want to pump Elimination Chamber. This was the first, if I'm not mistaken, the first pay per view in a stadium show, not in a regular arena. So that's why they promoted it so big. Um, so I definitely get why they put him in this position. You want to get as much social media interactions, and the kids love Logan Paul. They love drinking that stupid ass drink. Um, but the match itself, um, really good. I still give it to the women as far as the entertainment factor all around. I did love the fact that Cena was in there trying to get it in. Seth was like, "Stay out my fucking way. I respect you, but don't get in my way when it comes to CM Punk." Those rivalries getting the better um, of Seth Rollins. That's why he didn't come out on top. Um, Actually, yeah, I forgot to even run through the who eliminated who in the women's chamber, so I'll say that at the end of this. But I'll go through who eliminated who in the men's chamber and who entered. So um, the first man to enter, Drew McIntyre. The second man to enter, Seth Rollins. Damian Priest at number 3. Logan Paul at 4. Cena at number 5. And CM Punk at number 6. Elimination order was Drew McIntyre getting eliminated first. First in, first out. Which is probably good for Drew McIntyre because you get to save yourself from all that chamber torture. Um, Second eliminated was Damian Priest, and he was eliminated by Drew McIntyre. Was eliminated by Damian Priest, which, like I said, they're going to continue that feud. Obviously, it should be leading to a one-on-one at Mania. We had Damian Priest eliminated by Logan Paul, which that was shocking to me. But they're gonna give Paul this because they're gonna build him as this real asshole that's so fucking good he might actually beat you. Like, even though he's not gonna win, but it's a possibility. So they gave it to Logan Paul to eliminate Damian Priest. Um, the next one eliminated is Logan Paul. Logan Paul gets eliminated by CM Punk, which was a really cool spot because they did a spot where um, Cena did the FU of the Attitude Adjustment. Wow. It might go back to the FU. We'll get more into that, but it might get back to the FU. The Attitude Adjustment into the Go to Sleep, and that's how they took out Paul. Seth Rollins had a real good back and forth, like I said, with CM Punk. CM Punk ends up eliminating Seth. And here's where it was like, I really love this, because if we never get a CM Punk versus John Cena one-on-one again, the Chamber gave us that. And they were running like the greatest hits from their Money in the Bank match, their little rivalries back then, the counters, it was, as a fan that was been watching for 20 plus years and saw the birth of this rivalry, saw it develop to the pipe bomb and all this WWE Championship controversy, and um, that back and forth, CM Punk's rise because of the John Cena feud. Like, this was good nostalgia, and it gave us a lot of that good old Cena feel. But Cena ends up eliminated John Cena because Seth Rollins was playing the background. So during their after being eliminated, Seth Rollins still playing the background. Waited until a sequence led to CM Punk by the ropes, and he head stomped him into the steel grate. John Cena, with no reservations, puts him into STFU. CM Punk does not tap. He knocks out like a G, which, you know what, might be the perfect resolution to this. I never lost the chamber. I didn't tap, and I did not submit. I mean, of course, you tap and submit the same shit. I didn't submit. I didn't tap out. I didn't get pinned. Um, I, then again, they could argue the Naomi cause. Hey, she got her ass whooped and was unable to compete. So, you got knocked out technically. I don't know. I think CM Punk still can have his little way to wheedle his way into the one of the main events. Um, Technically, you are deserving. It's like the Stone Cold effect. You didn't tap me out. I passed out. You didn't pin me. They stopped the match. So, um, definitely, definitely see CM Punk probably using the favor for that. I mean, the way the John Cena win and everything that happened after. I know you've probably been watching the screen and seeing this image of John Cena. It happened. I've been waiting. I gave up hope. Let's not even say how long I've been fucking waiting. I gave up hope of a Cena heel turn probably during his last United States Championship run, before he started on this big losing streak, and he went to Hollywood mostly full time, and he's just been doing the pop up appearances the past couple years. I gave up that heel turn chance then, because at this point it didn't make sense to me. Why would he do it at this point in his career? He's finally giving back. You know, I think he said it was like over 1,400 days or something like that since he had a win, which is a couple years. So, did I see the heel turn happening at the Chamber? Hell, the fuck no. And if anybody said that they saw it, I don't think they're being 100% truthful. I had it in the back of my mind as far as one of the possible outcomes for the Rock Cody segment, how that could come out. But my first runner up was like, if it wasn't Cody Rhodes accepting it, which everyone knew Cody wasn't going to accept that. Um, I thought it was going to be CM Punk. John Cena was like far, far, far in my mind, because storyline wise, it makes perfect sense. You've been on this fucking crazy losing streak. It's the last year of your career. This doesn't even have to be like a fuck the fans moment. It could just be like, I'm taking it all. I'm tired of losing. I'm winning WrestleMania. I'm best for business, and he said that at the Royal Rumble, which is crazy because the heel turn didn't begin at the Elimination Chamber. It was revealed at the Elimination Chamber, but it actually began after he lost the Royal Rumble, where he went in the press conference, demanded that he get inserted into the chamber, use his legend card, use the I'm John Cena card, and put himself into the chamber. That's when the heel turn actually started. And the first time it was teased, it seems to be, was Bad Blood, when The Rock came out and did the little cutthroat gesture. A lot of people reading into that, throwing up the threes that John Cena usually throws up. Um, and this time, when he gave him the signal, he threw up the two. So I don't know if they counted down more members, or um, maybe there's two more screw jobs or fuck yous to the fans that the Rock is about to give. I'm loving every moment of it. The Rock is not a heel to me. You guys deserve this. I was not a Cody crybaby last year when you guys were begging for Cody's title match for him to finish the story and all this. I wanted my tribal chief versus The Rock. Um, Especially considering I was freaking there live at WrestleMania 40 both nights. So you guys took that shit away from me. So anybody pissed off about this John Cena heel turn for The Rock, screw you guys, get over it. Hashtag it or something. But um, let's get to the beginning. After the Chamber, Cena standing in the ring. Obviously, he won. Cody interrupts the celebration, comes out to do the obvious. You're my contender. We're doing this WrestleMania thing. The Rock interrupts Cody. Comes out with Travis Scott. Now, my biggest question of the night: what the fuck is the purpose of Travis Scott? Why is he carrying a non-existent hardcore championship, which actually looks dope as hell? This dude hasn't done a soundtrack. I thought he was gonna be in the 2K soundtrack guy, or he was gonna be heavily featured in this year's game, and that's probably why he was doing the promo. But no, what the hell is Travis Scott's purpose? Especially considering he was here giving shots like if he was a full blown wrestler. Like you deserve a receipt for what the fuck you did to Cody Rhodes. But what is Travis Scott's purpose? I need this clear up. And is there gonna be a good celebrity that's gonna come in and fight? Like, can we get Bad Bunny back? Like, hint, hint, Bad Bunny. There are rumors that Travis Scott has been training though, so who knows? Anything could happen from here to Mania. There's still 60 days, 2 months, so shit, anything could happen. But why they insert Travis Scott, I have no idea. I guess that's the star power of The Rock, but he comes down with Travis Scott. They get into it. Long story short, Cody Rhodes tells Rock, "You can go fuck yourself." Cena is celebrating with Cody's staying the good guy. He gives him a dap as a sign of respect, as you can see in the top picture. While they're embracing, he looks at The Rock. The Rock cuts does the throat cut slice sign with the two. Cena gives that face that look at that face. If there wasn't like if you show a night and day difference, like that expression, that one picture says a million things. You would have never guessed that's the same John Cena from Make a Wish when people joking now, the Break a Wish Foundation and stuff. Instead of never give up, is give up. But the contrast is crazy. So this is my thing. Was this the greatest event of the year? To me, no. Was it great? Yes. Will it be memorable? Of course. People are going to remember John Cena's heel turn forever. But for people to say this was the greatest thing ever, they're doing the comparisons to Hulk Hogan's heel turn and joining the forming the NWO, and we haven't. It's not even been a week. Hasn't even been the next fucking episode. Raw's tonight. Can you guys give things chances before you name it a classic? Or, even one of my podcast brothers, Rich, oh, I believe this was the great. Like, dude, that's the headline. I literally just read that on 4 different articles. I literally went on Twitter or X and scrolled down, and 90% of the feed is saying that exact same line, um, that I believe this was the greatest event of the year. And dude, can we get some time? Can you let it burn? Like, Cena has 9 months left in this run. So you gotta turn heel, be the biggest heel of all time, and then have a redemption arc in 9 months and retire. Like, unless he's extending this retirement run, I don't see it. So he has to be on every show going forward. He can't do this part time. I'm not here a month. I'll be there at the next pay per view. It's not gonna work. 9 more appearances. So we're gonna get this character 9 appearances. It's not like the final boss. The final boss worked because we were getting force fed a match, even though we had a different scenario that was in play, that was in the forefront of everybody's minds, and that pushing The Rock to get that match caused the fans to rebel. It became bigger than it was. This is like, all right, now you got to explain your motivation. Now you have to build up the contenders that you're going to fight against outside of Cody. If he ends up really winning this belt at and making his 17th championship at WrestleMania, now who are the people that are lined up to take Cena down? Where does it go? So before I can say and give that stamp, this was the greatest night, or this was the biggest heel turn of all time, or um, are we going to remember it 10 years, 15 years, 20 years from now? Of course. Will it have the impact of Hogan joining the NWO? That is where we need to let it gel, let it come into fruition before we compare it to that. Hogan turning heel not only changed his character and his trajectory, it changed the trajectory of the entire company, of the entire wrestling industry. It recreated what stables are looked at. It established the Attitude Era. Like the the fallout from Hogan joining the NWO was felt in multiple companies. It's still talked about, still viewed, still written about, still documented to this day. I'm not comparing that to that. I think we disrespect the NWO, the impact the NWO has had by comparing it to that at this point, so early in the storyline, so early in the heel turn. Who's to say it's not a dud? We don't even enjoy this version of Cena. He's not gonna rap. So let's not think he's going back to Thugonomics. We don't need rapping Cena. So what are we getting now? Back in I think 2011, 12, or whatever it was, Cena was supposedly thinking about turning heel, had new music, new gear, everything. I want him to do that for this run. Shave your head completely, get rid of that bald spot, go back to that number two all around, get that thorough. Look at that face. Look at that face. That's a man that you could believe has anger or is about to do some shit. More of that. Get the look. I want the new music. Give me something to remember. Now, at this point, Cody Rhodes has been screwed over so many times, and his friends have turned on him so many times in this year alone. Like, was it surprising to see him kick him in the balls? I don't think so. I don't think so. But what I'm not gonna do is join the narrative that people are putting online that this was the greatest thing ever, the greatest heel turn, the biggest impact ever. No, we discredit the NWO, and at this point, the only discrediting in that faction I'm on is against Hogan, because fuck that guy. We not Hogan fans anymore. I will always respect what Hogan did for the business, but as a man, fuck that guy. But like I said, for what he did for the business, I can't compare this heel turn to that. Like, I understand where people are coming from, but because comparably, there's probably no star as big as Cena to compare, unless you're comparing him to like a Hogan, Rock, Austin, a Taker or a Triple H. But that class is very small, so there's not really much people to compare him to. So it makes sense if he's the one to win the title off Cody, because like I said earlier, I think that the WWE title needs to have an icon behind it. It has to have someone who's not only going to carry the company on TV in storyline, but outside WWE, in media, in entertainment, on interviews, on radios, in podcasts. Um, the people who like transcend pop culture. That's what it needs to be. The World Championship needs to be like what the Intercontinental Championship used to be. You see the guy getting the Intercontinental Championship, you already knew that's the next guy up. And I feel like the WWE title needs to be icon status, and every other division needs to be working towards that, building people towards that. I don't think we should just be tossing WWE championships to just anybody. We shouldn't be um, changing it, the hands of it, a lot of times of the year. And obviously, the last couple of years they've drifted away from the changing of the hand, changing of the titles. Um, from people to people. Roman carried it for as long as he did, and um, Cody already about to approach 1 year. So I get it, but I want to see what happens going forward. I want to see the storylines coming out of it. Great, both chamber matches, really awesome. Um, to cap off that match as well, the longest run was Seth Rollins. He had 30 minutes in the chamber. Um, yeah, he had 30 minutes in the chamber. No, they're saying CM Punk and Cena 32 minutes. Oh, I see. They're just counting based on how long he was standing in the chamber, not actually active participant. So disregard that. That doesn't matter. If you stood in the chamber for fucking 25 minutes and then you wrestle for five, I'm not gonna count the whole 32 minutes and 40 seconds. That's just not happening. Well, that was the Elimination Chamber. This has been Kayfabe podcast. I'm a little bit of a solo journey doing this. I'm trying to churn out more content for you guys. Get back to what made Kayfabe Avenue great with giving you the pay-per-view reviews and just trying to give you guys as much content as possible, top fives and all that. Um, my brothers will get busy, but I'm here to kind of keep the ship sailing. So we'll definitely get back to the Kayfabe podcast. This has been AJ. I can do this all day. Follow us on YouTube, anywhere you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple,